Vendasta. I am your host, Nathan Yaworski, and I am so excited to have so many people in here. I see 55 attendees. Thank you all for taking the time to join us today. I am joined today by my colleague and partner in crime, Andrew Barclay, my fellow customer success manager. He's going to be helping mediate our question and answer period at the end. And we have a very special guest as well, Deborah, our senior product marketing manager. She has had so much to do with our topic today of Vendasta Vibe, and she's going to be here to help with the Q&A at the end as well. So welcome, Deborah. Let's give some emojis in the chat. Thank you so much. All right. So, Vendasta Vibe, you have probably heard a lot about it. A lot of us here at Vendasta are very excited. Essentially, not only is it a vibe coding app software built right into your business app, but unlike some of its contemporaries like Lovable and Replit, it intimately knows your business details. It's already connected with your business systems, and it's super easy to use. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be showing you a little sneak peek of how it can work, how easy it is to use, and how to get it set up for either yourself or for one of your clients. Before we dive into that, we do have our usual housekeeping. Yes, we are recording, and we will be sharing out a replay link and a follow-up email. Additionally, we're going to be having this video uploaded to our YouTube channel. Let me just find the stage here. I'll throw the link to that YouTube playlist for all our past recordings. And question and answers, as always, will follow the presentation. Thank you so much. So let's dive right in. Now, to get started with Vibe, the first place that you are going to start with is Partner Center. Now, this is where we're getting started. Once we're actually using Vibe, you're actually going to be using it out of Business App. So I'm going to show you how to enable it, and then we're going to dive in to actually using the tool today. Let me just make sure. Demo time. There we go. I'm going to share a different screen here. Get my ducks in a row. Fantastic. And come on now. All right, so I'm going to throw myself in the corner here. We begin in Partner Center. This should be a familiar site to all of you folks. And if it's not, it's partners.vendasta.com. Hopefully you've been in here before. Now, Vibe itself is a marketplace product. So first and foremost, if you want to learn a little bit more about Vibe before you start turning it on, we're going to make this a bit bigger for you folks. You can go to Marketplace, Discover Products, and you can look up Vibe. Here it is. It should be already enabled for you to start selling right off the bat. If for whatever reason you're not seeing it in your product activation list, you just come in here as always to our product page, and there will be a blue Start Selling button over here that you just click to add it to your short list. Now there are a few different additions. Of course, the free for just trying things out, you get one project, 250 credits a day, refresh daily, and you get that whole kind of chat, voice prompting, plan mode, the whole 9 yards. It's just limited to how many credits you get and how many projects at a time you can have. For that standard level, we've got $19 wholesale. That gives you 10,000 credits per month and up to 5 products or projects or published apps. And the Pro, it also gives you custom domain support on the standard level, so you can connect a custom domain to your project. Analytics and SSO connections, and it's white labeled. The Vendasta badge gets removed at that standard level. And then finally, the highest level there, the Pro, that's 25,000 credits a month. It gives you unlimited projects and published apps, gives you all these features, but it also allows you to download your project into a zip file, and it adds the Supabase connector for that deeper depth of data. So that's where you would go to enable it or to find out more about the broad strokes of the product itself. When you're ready to turn it on, and I definitely recommend at least playing with the free version for yourself, you're going to go to Accounts. And again, this won't exist in the AI section of Partner Center. This is business app only. So if you're turning it on for yourself, you're going to go into Manage Accounts, You're going to click into the account you want to turn it on for. So in some cases, it may be yours, it may be your client's. I'll just click into one randomly here. And then as you would activate any other product, I see this one already has it activated, but you would click Create Order, and that's going to take us to the order page. And then you go add items and then add Vibe at the level that you are wanting to play around with, free, standard, or pro. So that's how you turn it on. I, like through the magic of television, have one already activated. So we're going to go over to that, to my test account here, marked with a do not delete so that the folks cleaning up won't ruin my demos. All right, so once you're here, you've got it activated in products, then you're going to want to go into business app. And as most of you know, that's very easy to do. We click open in and we drop down to business app. So here we are in the client-facing business app, or in some cases, it's your agency business app. And we would then go to AI. And if Vibe is active, you now see underneath our workforce is Vibe. That's where you access Vibe. We click on Vibe and it'll take you to the place where your projects are. And we are going to create a project, a new app from scratch today. So today I am going to imagine that I am a tree removal specialist and I've got a landscaping company and I don't want to be on the phone answering all day, you know, oh, can you do this job for this much? How much is it going to take that oak tree out of my backyard? I want an estimator app that can give clients a good idea of what their project's going to cost before they even pick up the phone to call me. So tree removal estimator app, we're going to call it. Then we click create, and that brings us right into the build section. Now, before we dive into building, I want to show you how you can configure the back end of it as well. So we're going to click this blue back arrow, just to back out of this for a moment. We've still got it here, and I'm going to click configure. And from here, you can, I don't know how easy it is to see here, you can add knowledge about the business. Now, the business profile is already in there. If I had a website, it would already add that knowledge as well. And actually, I'm just going to stick that in here. Just be a moment. Add new knowledge. Ba-da-ba-da. There we go. It's adding that. And then we have these shared connectors as well. Now, I have the pro version turned on, so all of these shared connectors are available to me. So I can enable single sign-on to my app so that folks need to log in to access it. Because this is a public-facing one and it's just a tool I'm using, I'm not going to turn that on. I can also connect analytics. I can connect forms. In this case, I'm going to connect a form to it so that I can feed leads from this tool into my CRM. And then there's the Supabase connector as well to help power your app's data, authorization, and storage. So for right now, we're going to click out of there. It's a lot of technical terms there, but the meat and potatoes is coming. So thank you very much. So we are here in the Tree Estimator app, and you can see it's kind of a blank slate right now. Nothing has happened. Very easy to get started. We can just chat with it. So I would like it to build a sleek, user-friendly, easy to read estimator app based, and normally I'd just be able to say based on my business. I've created a fictional business for this, so I'm going to give it a bit of direction there on this fictional business and its pricing guide. Drop that. So the Vibe is going to be able to look at this landing page that I've created and gain information about branding and about the products and services that are available via that way. And I'm going to also give it a bit of direction on what I want the estimator to be able to do. Customers should be able to input the scope of the job. How many trees? What kind? Oh, nothing harder than typing when everyone's watching. What kind / size? Any additional property info or job info that might affect the price, and get an accurate job estimate within minutes. And let's see what it does with that. So it is now working. It's going to lay out for me what it's going to be doing. So it's getting the environment ready. I can see that it's thinking, it's coming up with a plan so that it can take what I've given it and put that into reality here. It's now capturing the website content that I put in. It's taking a screenshot of the current website design so that it can read it and understand my business a little bit better. Again, if this was added as knowledge, which I had done previously as well, it should be able to pull from this automatically. In this case, because it's a fictional site with no actual real published or indexed domain yet, I put it in here as well manually. And now we can see what's it working on now. It's listing the files. And again, a lot of this is happening. There's not much that you can see here. It is working as we go. It's given me on my plan. I want to build a sleek, interactive, single-page estimator app tailored to Canopy King's tree services. And it gives me a 2-column dashboard layout. It's laying out how it's going to look. The estimate summary. It's going to give me the design. It's pulling from my palette from the website. My accents and my background colors, my typography it's pulled. It's going to try and build some interactive cards and toggle buttons and sleek dialogues for adding trees. Currently, it says no backend forms will be hooked up. It's a client-side calculator as requested. I may change that before the end of this demo here. So let's just let it cook. I should have queued up some Jeopardy music. And you can imagine trying to code an app like this yourself would likely take quite a bit of time. I am, instead of having to learn how to code and learn how to build out an app and connectors and layouts, I'm able to use Vibe, talk to it in plain text like I just did, and have it handle all that back-end coding there. So let's see here. Editing 3 files. Which 3 files are we editing? Design, navbar, and footer. Okay, it's working on it here. Now I am using this to build out an app, an estimator app. It can also be used for things like reporting dashboards that can pull data from your business app here. It can also be used to build landing pages. The page that I used to build my fictional tree service company was actually built on Vibe as well. So that took me a total of probably 10 minutes to code out the way I wanted. And now we have here a completed mock-up here. So we've got my branding, start estimate, add your first tree. So I'm going to say I want a full removal on this large tree, and it is an elm tree for Dutch elm disease handling. So it's probably going to be a little more expensive. It's also right by some power lines, and it overhangs my garage. So I'm going to put that on there. I'd also like to do a full stump excavation because I want to maybe build a play structure for my kids in this same spot that tree is going to be. And we're not in the off season, so I don't have to toggle that on, but I do need this done right now because the window for trimming and removing elm trees is fast closing. I'd also like you to haul away 2 loads, and we don't want wood chipping. We'll just get them to do that. So we have a nice summary based on what I've just put in, based on the pricing guide that I created, the fake pricing guide that I created and put on my website. We've got our base rates plus the site hazard surcharges and additional services, extra for emergency response. So it's giving me an estimated range based on those prices. Now, of course, with any estimator tool, you don't want to give the final price until the tree professional has actually had a chance to look at the property. But you can see this is a lot of that initial legwork, a lot of that discovery just done. And then if I click request official quote, right now it's not going to do anything. I haven't linked to that. However, what I could do and what I will do, I'm just going to back out of this, it should save for me here. And then we're going to go to our CRM and I'm going to make a quick form. So CRM forms, we're going to create a form. It's going to be the tree service quote request. And add fields. And again, you can put whatever custom fields or text fields in here that you want. And then of course you're going to want things like their phone number and maybe their email. And in this case, maybe their zip code would be good, so I know where they're at. So we add those fields in. We've got our form here, and we will click in the embed code. Oh yes, I got to save it. And then we'll click the embed code to get the script here. I'm going to copy that. Now I'm going to hop back to Vibe, AI Vibe, build. Are you still there, preview? Yes, you are. Okay. When clicking the request official quote button, create a pop-up modal with this form. I'm going to see if this works. I might not be asking it the right way, but that's the nice thing about this is you can iterate, you can test and try things out. So now it's thinking, it's preparing. If it can't do it, it's probably going to tell me, hey, this actually didn't work. I'm hoping that it will just do it without asking. So it's a less of a an ask than building the whole site. So hopefully it's pretty easy to get in here. Create a quote modal component. Let's see how it does. And again, it knew based on the website that I was showing it. And let me, while it's working here, actually, I'm going to just, oh, where did it go here? I'm going to go back to Vibe. I'm going to go to, oh, actually, no, go back. Here we go. Keep working. I'm going to go to the website that I built previously and just give you a look at what that landing page looks like. So we've got the mission statement, we've got the pricing guide. And for this, I'm not a tree trimmer. I just used Claude to kind of say, give me a reasonable base price for tree trimming based on height, size, diameter, that kind of stuff. If there are surcharges for Dutch elm disease and all that. And it built this pricing guide out, and I was able to feed that pricing guide, that HTML, into Vibe, and it created this lovely website for me here. It's got some testimonials in here as well. Of course, these aren't real because I'm not really Canopy Kings. And then we've got a form for getting a free estimate here. This was done before I made the app. And so what I would likely do now that the app is being built, what I would do instead of this is I would have a button there, or I would link request estimate to my app and then take them over to that as a secondary page. Let's see how we're doing here. Plan completed. All right, so let's scroll down. If we click on request official quote, oh, I've got to add some trees. It didn't remember my trees from last time. That's fine. It's an elm tree, stump grinding, emergency response, and 2 loads. There we go. I'd like to request an official quote, and there's my form popped right up. Now, of course, this form hasn't been modified. What I can do in CRM with forms, as you might know, you can design, you can change the coloring to match a little bit better. But once somebody fills this out, 306 555 22323. Vendasta.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. And let's submit. My submission was successful. And now, even though this isn't live, that form should have me showing up in our contacts as well. So let's take a quick look. There I am. Record source form. Here's my name. And if I click into here on the contact profile, we've got the form results right here. So it's built right into my CRM with very little effort, very little coding. Essentially, the setup I had to do is make sure, I have a website with information to give it about my branding, about that, have that in the knowledge. I've got a form built out in my CRM, and then I just tell Vibe to do it, and it just does it. So when I am ready for this to go live, we'll go back into our build here. Let's say this is perfect. I love it. I want to ship it right now. Essentially, all I have to do is click this publish button, and it's going to give me my site address, which is kind of gobbledygook, a lot of numbers and letters, .vendasta.ai. But because I've got the Pro edition, and if I had the standard edition, this is the case as well, I can put my own domain here and then add it, and then it's going to give me an A record and a couple of C name records to point my domain to that site so that you can customize it for public facing. This would work too if I published it and then went to tree-removal-estimate.14a whatever. It would take me to my estimator tool, but it's a lot cleaner if you're on the standard or the Pro to put your custom domain in there. The other thing you can do on the Pro level is download your project. So if I wanted this as a zip file, I just click that and it downloads it as a, as a zip file right there. So that, in a nutshell, is Vibe. And if you want to take a look at my kind of prompts here for building my landing page, you can see it's not that long. And I just did this yesterday, and it took me from 2:21 p.m. all the way to 2:49. So half an hour's work to get this page here. And again, I could add some images, I could do whatever else. I wanted to keep it fairly simple, but essentially I just asked, build me a website for a tree removal business. And then I gave it the pricing guide that I'd come up with. It should be a landing page with a top navigation set up as anchor links, include a fictional company mission statements, fictional testimonials, a pricing section. Obviously, if all this stuff existed on my website or in my business app or whatever, it'd be able to pull that in and know that if you had it in the knowledge sources. Because this is fictional, I had to be very specific as to what I wanted. And again, specificity, even if you do have a real business that you're vibing for, the more specific your prompt is, the better results you're going to find. And then it did that, and I wanted to break up text with images, and it kept giving me images of like swimming pools and palm trees. So I had to say, no, let's do Midwest backyards, no pools, no palm trees. And then it replaced them. However, I didn't like how the formatting broke up my page, and so I took the images out myself. But again, the site you see here was essentially maybe 1 or 2 prompts with Vibe. So pretty cool stuff. I would definitely recommend, if you haven't already, turn on even just the free Vibe for yourself, just to play around with it. Now, you're going to find 250 credits per day on free. Doesn't take you very far. So if you have a project you're really wanting to work on, honestly, it's worth the investment to turn on that standard or that free for yourself. And like I say, very easy to just dive in and start playing around with it. Wonderful. Now, that being said, let's go back to our slideshow. Do we have any questions from the audience? It looks like we do. Now, how we're going to work this is Andrew's going to put the questions up, and then if it's a question about kind of the implementation of some of this stuff or whatnot, I'll answer what I can. But we've also have, again, Deborah, our product marketing manager here, to help out with this Q&A, and she knows a lot more about Vibe than I do. I'm just a very, very rank amateur at this point. Hi, Deborah. Welcome.
Hi.
Awesome.
All right. One of the first questions was, can you show how many credits you used in that test?
Yes. Let me scooch back and, oh, no, there we go. share this tab instead. Okay, so if I'm in Vibe, or not Vibe, in Business App here, and I have Vibe turned on, I go to Administration, I scroll down to my AI settings, and then I've got credits. Now this is my whole monthly credits here. So for today, for that app builder, we're just gonna have to look at the dates here. But you can see I spent that many, however many that is, like 20, 30, 60, maybe like 100 credits today. Oh, maybe even a little more. It was a bit complicated there. And then if you look yesterday, my credits from yesterday between 2 and 250, it was probably about another 100 credits or maybe 200 credits. It doesn't lay it out super well, but it gives me my full monthly balance here. So since I've had this turned on, which has only been about a week, I've only used 6,500 credits out of my 25,000 that I've used. So about 25% of my monthly credits. And that's in the last kind of week. I've been vibing quite a lot. If you're just working on one project, it's probably not going to eat through it quite as much as I have been doing. Oh, Deborah, we can't hear you. I think you may be muted.
Thank you. Just want to add that a simple edits usually will cost you around 100 to 300 credits, and I think the prompt that costs you quite a bit of credits is when you try to clone a website or ask Vibe to reference an existing site and build something similar, because with that prompt, that means you ask Vibe to like scan through scan through all the web pages in that website and generating AI images which is similar to that. So that single prompt, which may be a short one like clone a website, Vendasta.com, something like that, for my business, which is very simple, but actually the credits used behind the scene will be a lot. That could
right, because
be,
it has to do so much referencing. That makes so much sense. So when I asked it, hey, take this website and look at it, it actually used more credits looking at that website and understanding it than it did, integrating my form, for instance.
Yeah. So that would cost a lot more for the simple edits.
Wonderful. Thank you, Deborah. And thank you for that great question, folks. What have we got next here?
I know Deborah answered this one already in the chat, and it'd be great to.
What if I already have a form in the CRM? Can it connect to a pre-existing form that is already in Business App? If so, can you demonstrate? And I think the answer is yes. If you have a pre-existing form, you just tell it to use that form instead of building a new one like I did. I hadn't built a form yet, but if you've already got the form ready, it can link to that. Fantastic. Can I create a quote estimator for a catering client, for example, in Vibe, and then add that to his existing WordPress website? I'll leave that one for Deborah.
Yeah, I kind of answered that in the chat as well. So probably you can do that by adding it to a page of the custom domain from your WordPress WordPress hosting site. So as the beginning of this webinar, Nathan showed us that the custom domain feature is available in standard or pro. So if you can add the Vibe page. So when you publish the website, you can add the custom domain of your WordPress hosting site. Then you can deploy the Vibe app to like one of the subpage of the WordPress hosting site.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Deborah. From Brett, does this system allow us to upload example screenshot images that Vibe can read the content and use as a resource for building an app? And can these apps be placed into the left side nav in Partner Center or Business App? Well, that's a good question. That's kind of a two-part question. For the first part, we'll take it in two pieces. Deborah, can they upload an example screenshot so that the AI can use that as a reference for its design?
Yes, they can. You can absolutely do that. You can upload the image. You can ask Vibe to create one based on your reference, or you can use ask Vibe to use the image directly.
And so I could add, say I wanted my Vendasta Vibe card here to be added. I just add it to the chat here. Oh, you can't really see it. Let me scroll down a little bit. Oh, here. Can you just toggle the question off there? There we go. So you can see I hit this little plus button. I can attach images that way. Great question. And then for the second part of that question, sorry, that was, can these apps then be placed in the left side navigation in Partner Center or Business App? Now that I'm not sure about.
That's in our roadmap. We are going to have something like once you publish it, there is one more option like deploy it as a business app. So that's something in the roadmap. Allow us some time. We will keep you posted when it is ready for like trusted tester or beta.
Mm-hmm. And as a reminder, you folks can always view our changelog and the most recent updates at this link. Now, I know it says feedback, and that's where you can give your ideas and your feedback as well. But on that same page, there's a changelog section, and that's going to be your best source for the most up-to-date releases. Beautiful. All right, next question. Can you export these forms to other platforms or websites? So by forms, if you mean the forms in the CRM here, you certainly can. That embed code that you saw me use. If we click into our form here and click embed, this, if you want to embed a form that links to your CRM on your existing web page, very easy. You just copy and paste this onto your website, and it will link that form into there. Something I also didn't show you in the form builder is the design. So if I wanted this to look a bit different, if I wanted the button to be a different color, or if I wanted to use AI to give me a more of an overall overhaul with my branding, I can add images for inspiration, I can give it instructions, and it'll arrange the form in a different way. If you're talking about uploading the apps that you build onto other websites, I think we kind of touched on that with the custom domains question. You also on Pro, Vibe Pro, you have the option, as I showed you, to download the zip file of your project. So you could take it out of the Vendasta system in that way. Okay. Once our pricing estimator has been set up and tested for accuracy, can this be tied into Conversations AI for consumers to ask questions about our products? The AI can go through the entire sales process and give an estimate to the person using the chat, and when confirmed, can send a Stripe link to them to order. Well, that's a very good question. I think in theory that should be doable. It would involve, I think, a custom capability for whichever chat employee that you were building, and that capability would be then using the pricing estimator itself. So it would involve a bit of back-end setup, and if you're not confident in setting it up yourself, we do have the AI workforce optimization product by our Vendasta services. They do white labeled setup and optimization of your AI employees. So if that's something you want to set up but you don't know where to start, I would start with that product there. It's either the AI custom AI setup, or what is it called? The AI, help me here, I'm drowning, Andrew. What's that one called? The one time. I always forget the one time. AI employee setup.
Workforce optimization. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so there's the employee setup, but then there's the workforce optimization, which is the ongoing support. Sorry about that, folks. It's I'm sure it's Monday somewhere. My brain is still happening in yesterday time. All right. As far as giving a Stripe link, the end of your question there, Brett, that I don't know. I don't know that that the AI would be able to handle actual ordering. That part of it may not be able to be workable, but again, that'd be a question for our team to see if that's something they could set up as a custom capability. We build tons of WordPress websites. Our clients love to know they can make their own edits through their CMS. Well, our clients have access to edit their own website. If so, should we edit their website for them or allow them to make edits on their own? So this really depends on how much control you want clients to have. When you build a WordPress website in our hosting, as long as they are a user and their permissions haven't been turned off, they can go into the WordPress dashboard and make those changes themselves. If they're feeling confident, they can ask you to do it. If it's a site that's built by our team and supported by our team can do it. And the same goes for Vibe. So if you Vibe something for them, if they have access to Business App, they'd be able to go into that Vibe project and make changes and make those edits. So it really depends on how much freedom you want to give your clients to play around with it. The nice thing right now about if somebody goes in to Vibe, say, and they're playing around and they break something or they wreck it and it doesn't look good, we click this little history window, this little arrow here, and it makes checkpoints of the different versions. So you can go back and restore a previous iteration of that Vibe, so that it's kind of like saves. It has a little save file. So if you do something that really throws off the Vibe and you don't want to have to prompt it and use credits to get back to where you were, you can restore those previous versions as well. Anything to add to that, Deborah? Did I miss anything there?
I think the only thing I want to add is currently we don't have any user permission setting for Vibe just yet in the business app. So that means is either or not. So if you activate Vibe for your client's account, they could see it, and if they have the capability or they understand what is Vibe coding, they can add it to the Vibe project directly. And with that, we also have a roadmap items working on to add some granular user permission setting per Vibe project. So that means you can have the options to make the Vibe project only visible to a certain amount of user, while maybe a selected user has the edit permission, etc. But that's still in our roadmap.
Okay, sounds good. So it's either all or nothing. If you got Vibe turned on and you have your clients in Business App, they're going to be able to go in there and play around, which, I mean, not a bad thing. And if they run out of credits, you can always buy add-ons to add additional credits if they feel like they're going to use a lot of credits over a monthly period. So might be a good upsell opportunity if they find, oh, I'm out of credits. How do I get more? Great, let's get you some more credits. Awesome. Now we're at about 5 minutes to. I think we have time maybe for 2 more questions before we move on to our plugs for next week.
This one was asked a couple times and might need a part 2.
Okay, will you show us who to build or how to build a website and add a custom domain? This might be a whole other section here. Essentially, if you're wanting to build a website itself, I would recommend just chatting with it. Tell it what kind of website you want, how many pages, or if it's just one page or whatever, and play around with it, try it out. That is definitely a great future case for one of our sessions, either our sessions or our sales and strategy side. So thank you for that, and that's a very good kind of coming soon. Now, without an actual domain that I've purchased, I can't really show you how to connect a custom domain. I haven't bought one myself, but I can take you, as far as when the time comes when we do this session, we can take you as far as the point of getting it in there. But the actual changing DNS records and whatnot, I won't be able to show you because it's it's not a real website, unless Vendasta wants to buy me a web domain just for my own use. Jeff, you can maybe ask the folks up high up if they want to buy me a domain. Okay, one more question, and then we're going to move on to plugs. Thank you. I know we didn't get to everything here, but if you did ask a question and it wasn't answered, we can ask your account reps to reach out and connect with you on that as well. Eric says, do you have suggestions on retail pricing for Vibe work we do? Sorry if this is covered somewhere and I missed it. There's no actual prescribed amount for how much you should charge for if you're vibing for your customer. We don't have like a fulfilled Vibe service yet to kind of give you an idea of that. What I would recommend is price your time according to how much your time is worth, right? Maybe look at your competitors, and if they have similar services, kind of check what they're doing, just so you're not pricing yourself out of a job. But you want to be paid for the time that you're working as well. And if you are wanting to actually have that as a charge on their monthly bill for like, oh, here's like monthly Vibe support from Eric, for instance. You then, Eric, could go into Marketplace in your partner center, go into vendor center and create a custom service that is, Eric vibes for you at, $100 a month, or $50 a month, or whatever you want to price it at. We don't really have any recommendations for that at this time, but go with your heart and what your time is valuable, so you should charge for the work that you're doing. Awesome. Okay, let's dive back into here. Before we get into our plugs, what I would love, and we don't really have a poll or a way to show this specifically, but can I get, now that we've had a look at Vibe, now that we've seen kind of some of the things that are possible, just tell us in the chat, what is something that you were excited to try? What kind of projects have kind of sparked in your head, something either for yourself or something that your clients could really use? We'd love to hear about it, and that way we can potentially build future sessions around those sorts of projects. What I will say is, in the upcoming sales and strategy session that Jeff Leibel is going to be leading on Thursday, if we get a really good idea, or an idea that comes up a lot in this chat for a type of project, if time permits, he may actually Vibe one live for you on Thursday as well. I know he's got lots to cover, but he did give me that offer to let you know that he would be looking at this list. So please take a moment, pop in the chat. As we were doing this, I'm sure the light bulbs were going off and the sparks were flying in your brain, and the wheels were turning. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you're excited about to use Vibe for. We really want to know that. So just take a couple seconds now and pop that in. While you're doing that, up next, we've got, as I mentioned, Sales and Strategy with Vendasta, hosted by our leader of sales here on the expansion growth team, Jeff Leibel. He's going to be talking about the gold mine in your book, how to win SMB business in the age of AI, and not even just new business. The real money is in the relationships you've already built. We throw in the registration link if you're not already registered for that series. It's going to be a really good one. He's going to touch on Vibe. He's going to touch on all of our AI products and positioning those to your not only new customers, but existing customer base. So this is one not to miss. Please join us there. We would love to see you all. And again, as usual, AI Jumpstart is going to continue next week with the AI data analyst. If you recall, we've built out a couple custom agents already with our custom agent tool, the support agent, the inside salesperson. This time, I'm going to be joining you next week to build the AI data analyst and just kind of walk through that build. So we're really excited about that. Don't forget to join us next week as well. Thank you all so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you. Deborah, I want to thank you for coming on to help with the Q&A. It's always amazing to have an expert from our marketing team to join us on these. And Andrew, thank you for the Q&A help. I hope you all have a fantastic Tuesday, and we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And also, we'll see you Thursday. Please don't miss Thursday. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you real soon.